Welcome dear students. Class 2, chapter number 3, how does a computer work? Already we learned the first and second chapter. Now for the next exam, the third chapter is how does a computer work? A computer cannot work on its own. The computer can't work itself. We want to help the computer to do something. How can we help the computer to do something? We need to enter letters, numbers, and instructions into the computer to make it work. So to do something in computer, we need to enter letters, numbers, and instructions. These are called data. A computer cannot work on its own. We want to help the computer to do something. How can we help the computer to do something? We want to give some data and instruction to computer. What type of data we can give? We can give letters, numbers. These are together called data. We can give letters, numbers, and instructions. This is commonly known as data. So we want to give data to the computer. Otherwise, the computer cannot work on its own. കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന് സ്വന്തമായിട്ടൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിയില്ല. കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിലേക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് കൊടുക്കണം. അതെന്തൊക്കെയാ? We need to enter letters, numbers, and instructions. These letters, numbers, and instructions are called data. So what we want to give computer to do something? We want to give data. What is data? Whatever the things we are entering into the computer, such as letters, numbers, and instructions into the computer to make it work. These are called data. Different parts of a computer do different works. A computer works in 3 basic steps. What are the 3 basic steps the computer to do? This is input, second one process, and the third one is output. So different parts of computer do different works. Some of the parts are doing input, some of the parts are processing, some of the parts are doing the output part. So a computer works in 3 basic steps. Which are the 3 basic steps? First one, input, second, processing, and third, output. So we can discuss in detail what is input, what is process, what is output, which are the parts of computer doing input, which are the part of computer doing the process, which are the parts of doing the output part. Okay. So what is input, what is our processing, and what is output? That we can understand with a simple example by taking an example of our body. So now look here. When a teacher asks us a question, we hear with our ears and see with our eyes. When a teacher asks a question, we are hearing that question with our ears and see the teacher with our eyes. The ears and eyes are input units. So while comparing with our body, while comparing with ours, when a teacher asks a question, with our ears we hear and with our eyes we see. So these two we can call as input. So we are getting the details, we are getting the instruction with our ears and eyes. This is our input units. Now after hearing that question, our brain stores everything that a teacher says. First of all, what the teacher told, that's stored by our brain. Then it think of an answer and orders us to speak. After hearing the question, the brain is processing that question and searching for the result, searching for the answer, and orders us to speak. That is the processing. So our brain is the processing unit. And after the result we got, our mouth help us to speak. So when we answer with our mouth, it works like an output unit. So while comparing with our body, our ears and eyes are the input parts, and our brain is the processing part, and our mouth, that is the output unit. So this is an example. One more example we can take. Let us understand here the cake batter is input. Mixing it correctly, that is the input. And after that, the processing is happening in the oven. The process of baking, that is occurring in this oven. And after that, the output, the result, we are getting the delicious cake, that is the output. So this is the same way the computer is also doing. Which are the parts of computer doing input, process and output? ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിലേക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് ഡാറ്റകൾ നൽകുന്ന ഡാറ്റകൾ സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്റെ പാർട്ടുകളുണ്ട്. സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന ഡാറ്റകളെ പ്രോസസ്സ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു പാർട്ടുണ്ട് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രോസസ്സ് ചെയ്ത ഡാറ്റ നമുക്ക് റിസൾട്ട് ആയിട്ട് തരുന്ന കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്റെ ഉപകരണങ്ങളുണ്ട്. സോ വിച്ച് ആർ ദോസ് തിങ്സ്? So this is input. The data and instructions that we enter into the computer called input. We input data using a keyboard and mouse. So we are giving data. Data means letters, numbers and instructions. We are giving all these data by using, otherwise with the help of keyboard and mouse. So keyboard and mouse is an example of input devices. So which are the examples for the input device? Keyboard and mouse. By using keyboard and mouse, we are giving instructions, data into the computer. That is called input. Clear? Now, by using keyboard and mouse, we given the data to computer. Now, which part of computer will process that? Working on data is called processing. Working on data is called processing. The CPU, the full form of CPU, Central Processing Unit, works on data and does all the thinking and calculation. That is why it is called the brain of the computer. So CPU is called the brain of the computer and doing the processing, that is thinking and calculation, that things on data is done by CPU. So working on data is called processing. That part is done by the part of computer called CPU. That is why it is called the brain of the computer. Now, after the processing, we will get the result. Which part of computer giving us the result? That is output. Output means the final result. When the CPU finishes the processing data, the output is displayed on the monitor. We are getting the result after the processing. We will get the result. It will be displayed on the monitor. So monitor is an output device, and also we will get the result in a printed format, printed on paper. So printer is also an example for an output device. So monitor is an output device, and printer is also called an output device. So keyboard and mouse, it is input device. CPU, it is the processing part of computer, and monitor and printer are the most common output devices. Clear? Now let us understand the working of a computer with an example. So the data and instruction together are the input. So whatever the data we are giving here we are giving 4, 7 plus. These are the data we are giving. So 4, 7 plus. These are the input. So 4, 7 plus we are giving into the computer by using keyboard and mouse. So after giving this, which is the processing, the CPU, the central processing unit CPU will work on it. The central processing unit CPU, it will add the numbers 4 and 7. It will add the numbers. So the CPU will add the numbers 4 plus 7 and will get a result. That result will be displayed on monitor. That is output. That is Answer is 11. 4 plus 7, 11. That answer will be displayed on monitor. Otherwise, it will print on a paper. Clear? So, 4, 7 plus the symbol plus that we are giving by using the keyboard or keyboard and mouse. And 4 plus 7, it will add, CPU will add the number 4 and 7. And the final result, that is 11, it will be displayed on monitor. So, input, process and output. So, what we studied in this chapter, data and instruction that we enter into the computer called input. Whatever the data and instructions we are giving into the computer, we can call as input. Working on data is called processing. The final result is called output. So, example of input devices, keyboard and mouse. Processing, it will be done by the brain of the computer, that is CPU. Output, the final result we will get on monitor. Monitor and printer are the example of output devices. Now, the exercise part, fill in the blanks. Dash is like the brain of a computer. Answer is CPU is the brain of the computer. A mouse is an dash device. Mouse is which device? Input, output, processing. Which one? Yes, mouse is an input device. Working on the data is called dash. I think you got the answer. Yes, processing. A monitor is an dash device. Monitor is an output device. This you want to write in your notebook. This one. This also you want to write in your notebook. True or false. When a computer works on the data, it is called processing. So, working on data is called processing. True or false? Yes, true. We get input from the computer. We get input from the computer. Is it true or false? We get input from the computer. No, it is false. We are getting output from the computer. A computer cannot work on its own. A computer cannot work on its own. True or false? Yes, true. Computer cannot work on its own. We want to give some data to the computer. Then only the computer can work. Data that we enter into a computer is called input. That is right answer. That is the true. This also you want to write in your notebook. Match the following. CPU. What CPU is doing? The part of computer CPU? Yes, it is doing the processing of information. Keyboard. Yes, keyboard is an input device. Printer. Printer is an output device. This also you want to write in your notebook. Choose the correct answer. Which of the following is an input device? Among these three options, which of the following is an input device? Whether it is CPU, keyboard or monitor. Answer is very easy. Yes, it is keyboard is an input device. Where does the process take place in a computer? The processing part. Which one is the processing part of computer? Speaker, CPU, keyboard. Yes, it is CPU. Now, answer the following questions. Mention the 3 steps process on which a computer works. Which are the 3 basic steps? Which are the 3 basic steps process on which a computer works? Input, process, output. Which part of the computer works on data to produce the output? That is the CPU, the processing part. That is the central processing unit, CPU. Then what do we call the final result that we get after processing? That is the third step, that is output. Which are the most common output devices? So examples for output devices. Answer, monitor and a printer. This also you may write in your notebook. This is a value based question. This is no need to write in your notebook. Ravi learns all good things from his teacher and his family. Will Ravi become a good student? Color the correct answer. What is the peculiarity of Ravi? Ravi learns all good things from his teacher and his family. Will Ravi become a good student? So Ravi learns everything, good things from his teacher and his family. So automatically Ravi will become a good student. So almost all the students want to learn almost all the good things from their teachers and also from their family. Then what will they become? They will become good students. So almost all of you want to become good students by learning good things from your teachers and from your family members. Now this also you want to write in your notebook. Choose the right answer from the options given below. A dash computer is kept on our lap. Which is the computer kept on our lap? Yes, it is laptop. A computer works very dash. A computer works very fast. A dash is used for typing letters, numbers and special symbols. Among these three, which one we are using for typing letters, numbers, special symbols? Answer is keyboard. Which computers are used in your lab? Which computers are used in your lab? That means in your school lab, which computer are used? Normally, in almost all the school computer lab, we are using desktop computers. Okay. This also you may write in your notebook. Which part of a computer process data? Answer very simple, CPU. Processed data is called dash. That is the output. Now answer the following. Name the three types of computer. Which are the three types of computer? Desktop computer, laptop and a tablet. Write any two things that a computer does. Type letters and solve sums. Solve mathematical problems. That is type letters and solve sums. What is the full form of CPU? Central Processing Unit. This also you may write in your notebook. How many keys are there in a standard keyboard? This already you learned in the previous chapters. Answer is 104. Which are the most common input devices? Example for input devices. Answer, keyboard, mouse and scanner. Mention the three-step process on which a computer works. The computer works on a three-steps process, that is input, processing and output. This also you may write in your notebook. True or false? A computer always gives us correct result. Answer is true. A computer cannot do more than one job at a time. The answer is false. The computer can do more than one job at a time. A mouse is an input device. The answer is true. We can enter data from the CPU. Can we enter data from the CPU? No. That is false. The buttons on a keyboard are called keys. Yes, that is true. Now, This also you learned in the previous chapter. Identify the name of a place in the following pictures and write any two uses of computer at the following pictures. So identify the name of this place, which is this place, which is this one, and which is this picture. So and after that, we want to write at least two uses of computer in this place, in this picture. So first one, which one? This is a hospital. So what are the two uses of computer in hospital? This is shop, this is office. Now in hospital, yes, keeping records of patients, preparing medical reports. So these are the two uses of computer in hospital, keeping records of patients and preparing medical reports, and also several other uses also. In shop, keeping records of items, which are the commodities, which are the items are there, its records. Then to calculate and make the bill quickly, to make the bill, to give the bill to the to calculate and make the bill quickly, to give the bill quickly. And in office, typing and printing letters, storing a lot of information in the computer. So these are the two uses of computers in these three pictures, that is in hospital, in shop, and in office. This you no need to write in your notebook. Then text math. What is text math? Text math is an educational game that allows you to practice simple arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this is an educational game. That means we can learn some arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division through a game. That is the educational game. Its name is text math. That is we can play in computer. So that's all in this chapter. So just watch this video many times and learn everything, and also write whatever the things I told to write in your notebook, and very neatly you want to write in your notebook. Watch this video several times and learn everything well. Okay, thank you.